Adrian Thomas has made a straight. Matt Novak on the button has made a bigger straight. Adrian has the ace of hearts, so he's got the nut flush draw to go with his straight, and Chris Cornell is coming out bluffing with absolutely nothing. He bets 1,000. Adrian quickly makes it 3,000 with his straight. Glenn McGee's going to give this some thought. He's got a straight draw. It's not a good draw, though, because the flush is on board, and it's possible that his draw is, in fact, no good even if he makes it. He correctly dodges danger, and Dean Booten folds as well. Matt Novak with Little Hollywood. I got a call. It's the last hand. Well, you've also got the best hand.
Sir, good luck to you.
I have 2 players now.
2 players to the river.
2 players.
Matt Novak with a big straight. And Adrian with the nuts. Hits the flush on the river. Moves all in. About 7,000 chips. Matt folds his face up. You did have the best hand, Matt.
1 heart. Let's see 1 heart.
Matt wants to see if he made the good laydown. Adrian doesn't oblige. He's just going to stack the chips, and we're going to move on to day 2. That's a great finish for Adrian Thomas. He's going to start day 2 with 23,000 chips. That'll put him in the top third of the field. He's running well, playing well.
You got a lucky river. Had the king of hearts. Yes, you did.
Everybody relieved now. Take the microphones off. Bag your chips. Go have a glass of beer. Get some sleep. And get ready to get back at it again tomorrow. You've beaten half the field. Congratulations. You feel great. You're one step closer to being crowned Party Poker Canadian Poker Champion. It's the start of day 2. The start of level 6 at the Party Poker Canadian Poker Championships. We're at antes of 50 and blinds of 200, 400. Play often changes overnight. You go from day 1 last night, everyone leaves here, they're wiped out, they're tired, they're exhausted. They go, they get a night's sleep, and they wake up and they plot a new strategy. And it's like the supper break. Often the game changes overnight, and it takes a while for the tournament to find its rhythm on the second day, and as the players start to fall back into their old habits. And the first hour of day 2 is often, again, it's a new game. Players have to readjust. Welcome back to the Party Poker Canadian Poker Championship. Now into day 2. The players have had a good night's sleep. We're playing in level 6. The small blind is 200. The big blind is 400, and there is an ante of 50. So there is just over 1,000 chips in the pot prior to the action starting. You can see that the players, after a good night's sleep, some of that stress from the day before is gone. They're much more relaxed, much more ready to play. On the button in this hand, Glenn Coward. Glenn has started the day as the short stack in the tournament. He's picked up an ace-5 on the button offsuit. Jeff Spanky Cheevers, our Canadian friend, with an ace-3 of diamonds, limping in early position, calling the 400 chip big blind. And Glenn's moving in. He's moving in. He's got just over 2,000 chips. He's all in. Both the blinds fold. Back to Jeff Cheevers. Jeff faces a call of close to 2,000 into a pot of 3,700. He's getting a little less than 2 to 1. This is not an obvious call for Cheevers. He does make the call, and you can hear that Glenn Coward is happy about it. Really, Glenn would be much happier to see a hand like King Queen or King Jack. In this case, Glenn just has a very slight edge. He's 53% to 47. Very slight edge. See, any card now above a 5 will split the pot. Glenn's going to have to hit a 5 precisely if he is to win it, and he's hit the 5 on the turn. That's just bad luck for Jeff Cheevers. And Glenn Coward Our extrovert entertainer from the UK is going to double up. That's going to move his chip stack up to about 5,700 chips, and it will unfortunately move our Canadian Jeff Spanky Cheevers down to about 5,000, although both Glenn and Jeff very short-stacked starting the day. Glenn continues to be a bit of a presence at the table. He does like to chat, he does like to mix it up, have some fun. Some players find that really annoying, and Glenn's an extrovert. There he is, looking to enjoy himself, looking to have a good time. He's played some big tournaments. He knows that it's about relaxing, having fun. He started the day short. He's got nothing to lose. He's enjoying himself. And that will often really irritate some opponents who will just find that sort of laissez-faire extroversion really hard to deal with. The average chip stack in the room, 20,000 chips. We got lots of big stacks at this table, including the tournament leader, Weber Kang, in seat number 1, who has just over 58,000 chips. Weber under the gun with a 5-4 offsuit. He's going to limp in. He's going to call the blind.
Yeah,
I don't like that play. I know you've got lots of chips, but there's too many short stacks at the table. There's too many players who are looking to move in. Limping in under the gun, you're just asking to have those 400 chips taken away from you when a small stack moves all in. One small stack there. Glenn Coward, no, he's going to fold his King 10 offsuit. Fold it around to Shannon Shore, who's another big stack. Shannon's here with 26,000 chips, and he has picked up Pocket Rockets. American Airlines. Shannon makes it 1,100 to go. Good size raise. You want to have 1 or 2 opponents with your aces. You don't want to play against 6 guys. Small blind folds. Jeff Cheevers. Spanky, here's a player looking to get a hand. A6, he's got to give that some thought. He's got a short stack. He's got to consider whether he should move it in. He doesn't, he folds. I think that's the right fold. You've got to raise. And Weber Kang, under the gun, will call with his 5-4 off suit. Hard, he's playing a drawing hand, out of position. He's hit a big draw. He's hit the open-ended straight draw for Weber under the gun. He's going to check. And Shannon is going to put out a bet. 1,100 chips. It's a nice bet. He's bet 1,100 into a pot of 3,200. He wants some action here. Alternatively, he wants to discover whether or not Weber has flopped a set. It is unlikely. Weber's going to re-raise. Weber's going to make it another 2,100. 3,200 flat, 2,100 chips back to Shannon. Weber's going to go with the semi-bluff check raise. And Shannon's going to give that some thought.
36 on top of that.
Enough is enough, he says. I'm re-raising. Great play. You know Weber's an aggressive player. You know that he's capable of just that kind of a bluff. Put the hard decision back onto him. You got pocket aces. You're not going to get away from them at this point. Now, if Weber's going to bluff, now is the time to do it. Weber moves back over the top of that, and you got Shannon in a hard spot. If you're going to bluff Weber, do it now. If you're not, fair enough, call and see if you can hit the straight on the turn. Weber calls, and we've got a giant pot brewing. There's over 16,000 chips in the pot. The chip leader versus a big stack. The turn doesn't make a difference. Weber checks. Now what does Shannon want to do? 16,000 chips in the pot. Shannon's asking himself, is it possible that Weber is slow playing? He puts out a nice 6,500 chip bet. That may be too small. He's bet Weber only has to call 6,500 chips into a pot of almost 24,000. Weber wants the countdown. He wants to know how many chips does Shannon have behind. And what he's asking himself is, how many chips will I win if I hit my straight on the river? If I can get my straight paid off, is it worth calling? I'm getting almost 4-1 on the call. Not quite enough to make the call from a pure pot odds perspective. If I call and I hit my straight, can I win the chips that Shannon still has in front of him? He's going to call 6,500 more, and we get to the river.